What is going on, moto friends? Unfortunately, the time has come for me to move on from this beautiful Ducati Monster. But don't worry, I've got something even more special coming in soon, so stay tuned. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to get the most value out of your sale or trade when moving on from your motorcycle. In general, you want to do everything you possibly can to get the highest offer for your motorcycle. That includes taking care of anything that people could potentially haggle over. It's always a great idea to start off with a clean motorcycle so it looks fantastic in the pictures and anytime someone comes out to see it. For a final polishing and sealing spray, I really like this Fast Detailer from Bikes and Beards. I'll leave a link in the description. Along those lines, you really want to make sure your motorcycle chain is looking clean and well lubricated. You don't want anyone to nitpick and say, hey, this chain looks a little bit rusty, it's dirty, what if I have to replace it? Let's drop the price a little bit. No, you don't want any of those types of negotiations, so make sure your chain is looking good so no one tries to haggle you over the little stuff. For my chain service, I've been using this Road Chain Care Kit by Motul, which is also sold on Amazon. It comes with a brush, a chain cleaning spray, and a chain lubrication spray. It's also important to take a look at your exhaust system. Now, I talked about this in a previous video, but it's completely normal for your exhaust pipe to change color. The closer you are to the engine, the more bluish and purple your pipe's gonna look, and then further along, it's gonna have this kind of gold tone to it. Now, that's completely normal. What's not normal is rust or oxidation, so if you see that, it'll be a great idea to polish your pipe. And then you don't want people looking at it and saying, oh, this is corroded, it's gonna pit, I might need a new exhaust system. I mean, these people will use anything they can to try to haggle and negotiate the price lower. So this is an easy fix to polish it up and make it look shiny. Another really important thing to consider are motorcycle modifications. Now, if you've been following the channel, you know I've done a lot of cool stuff to this Monster, including the slip-on you see here, the tail tidy, and some other stuff. But those mods really don't add any value to a trade or sale. In fact, I talked to a dealer about this motorcycle for trade, and they told me they just want to come in at the lowest possible price. So if you have the mods on the bike or your bike is factory, they're going to give you a very similar offer. So really, don't get hosed with modifications. I would recommend keeping all the original equipment when you're doing the modifications, and when it comes time to trade or sell your motorcycle, revert your motorcycle back to stock and then sell the accessories separately. So I'm gonna take off this slip-on, I'm gonna take off the tail tidy, the mirrors, the indicators, really everything that you saw me put onto this bike on the channel, I'm gonna remove. Now, if any of you are in the US and are looking for Monster 937 parts that are in excellent condition, hit me up in my email, I'll put that in the description as well. It's also a good idea to check and see if your service light is on for any reason, and you can see here that my service light is on. I'm due for my yearly oil change, but since this bike is going back to the dealer, they said that they'll take care of that. If you're selling the bike privately, it would be a good idea to make sure that that service light is cleared so that there's really no questions that someone can ask. If it's just a simple matter of an oil change, get that done. It shouldn't be too expensive because you don't want someone saying, oh, what if there's engine problems? I want a discount, you know, something like that. All right, so your bike is now prepped for sale. You removed any sort of modifications, you've cleaned your exhaust system, you've cleaned and lubed your chain, changed your engine oil if needed to, and then gave the bike a great wash and polish. Now, what photos do buyers want to see when they're buying a motorcycle? Let me show you the photos that I took for this motorcycle and explain all the views and what people need to see. I like to start with a wide view of the motorcycle that really shows the overall condition well. It's also really nice to take it at an angle so it looks a little more artistic and appealing to the eye. Next, I like to show the tank from all angles just to show that there's no scratches on it. I move on to a photo of the front end, which shows the headlight, the fender, and the tire nicely. Then I do a close-up of the fender and the tire to show the tread depth of the tire. It's always a good idea to show the condition of the tires. A similar thing, but just from the back, I like to show the back fender and the back tire, and then do a close-up of the rear tire tread to show that the tire is in good condition. Then I move on to the wheels and brake rotors to show that there's no rust, and then I do the same thing in the front and show the wheels and the brake rotors to make sure that there's no rust or damage to the rim. And finally, I show the actual mileage at the time of sale. Now that you have your photos done, it's time to find some price comps. Where do you find your price comps? I'm going to be talking about what I do in the United States, and obviously this varies abroad, so let me know in the comments where you guys find your price comparisons. Now for me, the easiest thing to do is check Facebook Marketplace, check Craigslist, and then check the website Cycle Trader. Those will give you a great ballpark of what people are trying to sell these motorcycles for, and it'll tell you if they're private sellers or dealers, because their prices tend to vary. It's a great idea to know these price comparisons before going into any negotiation, especially if you're going to a dealer to ask for a trade. Now, a trade's going to depend on a lot of factors, what they're willing to let the new motorcycle go for, how in demand your model is, so really it's going to be a negotiation and you're going to have to figure out how to get the best value for your bike. But for a baseline, I really like to use some online resellers, which give you really a lowball floor offer. So I'll go to these websites and I'll leave a link in the description. I don't want to plug them here in case people don't like to use them, but they'll give you a very low offer, and this is kind of the floor of what you can expect to get. So if you can't manage to sell your bike elsewhere, or if you're desperate for a quick sale, depending on your economic, financial circumstances, you can make a sale there. And those websites, you'll put an offer, or they'll put an offer in for you, and then they'll come and get your motorcycle with the title and then cut you a check right on the spot. So if you're looking for a quick sale and really don't care about how much value you're getting out, that might be an option for you. But in this case, I'm going to be trading this to the dealership. So there you have it, guys. Some easy steps to follow to get the best value out of your motorcycle when you're selling it or trading it. Now, I'm really sad to see this Monster go. I had a blast on this bike, and you'll see in my channel all the videos I've made on it. But I'm also really excited for what's next. So please subscribe to the channel, follow along, and you're going to get some really great content coming up.